Yo, what's good, guys? What's going on with you? This is my first, whatever you want to call it, podcast, YouTube, whatever. I'm trying to, branch out, do different things. Gotta edit this. I got to edit this. But alright, Alright, first topic of conversation in my head. So we're gonna go with exes. When the ex hits you, either text you or let's say they started following you on Instagram, following you with the follow back. You feel me? And you see how their life turned out. You shouldn't be like comparing and contrasting people. That's the one fault a lot of humans do, which I do all the time, which a lot of people do, is you see someone else's life and you think you should live it or you're entitled to it. I don't even know if it's entitlement. I don't even know what it is, really. So you see an ex and she glowed and when I say glow the fuck up, I'm talking about whole life change, did a whole 180. Now, how do you as a person supposed to take that and not try to compare it to what you're doing and how you focus on things, how you trying to better yourself? Because it's funny because that instant just happened to me not too long ago. Like you see the follow, you see the person, and you really do think you like, everything's whatever, which it is a little, but I don't know, it's kind of weird, really. But seeing that person, seeing what they did and stuff like that kind of pushes me to the point of I gotta try to, better my life, do all this things I feel like I need to do instead of just working for somebody. Or do things take a turn for the worse? And it don't even have to be an ex, it can be like an ex-friend or someone that you lost contact with. And after all those years, like like while you was sleeping, it was working. Like, while you was sweeping the house, they was buying the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is real spooky. Shit is real iffy and spooky. But I'm not really good on the relationship tip, though. Like, it's like dime a dozen. I'm starting to understand how, like, people just interchangeable. Not like that. I guess the people that's supposed to stick is definitely going to stick around. And people that's not is just in and out. You know what I'm saying? It's like a one-way door. Sometimes they put their head back in. Other times they don't. But you sitting there just like, what? Like, why are you leaving? But, I guess battling that in itself too, as far as this journey that I speak of. Alright, so that brings another conversation intertwined with that one. So do you lurk on the ex person's page? Do you look at what they're doing instead of just like not even going on their page personally, just looking at the Ivy or whatever and just like, all right, whatever, just keep it moving? Do you lurk, and then when you lurk, do you keep on digging? Like if you see she just bundled up with a little snuggle bun, no little device, do you go on that device's page? I do, but that shows you how toxic I am. So, it's a difference. But, like, that should be fucking crazy. You're probably why wondering, like, I keep on putting this up and down, like, oh, it's a bad habit. But it's funny, I made bullet points just to stay on topic of all of that shit. And so, let's talk about this a little bit on top of that. The feeling you get, like a depression, when that comes over, when you see someone from the past that you're kind of not ready to see yet, or you don't want to see at that particular moment, or if life just pushing you to get over, or just trying to, whatever you want to call it, your mind space, where does that go? If it goes in that dark hole, where in that dark hole do you stay at? You know, there's different, to me, there's different corners in that dark hole. There's dark holes where there's a glimpse of light peeking down in it. There's parts of that dark hole where it's just the darkest. It's the darkest corner. Like, which part are you, you know? Sometimes you lose that, like, being optimistic because you're thinking everything's against you, everybody's against you. All this weird shit. It is funny because I watch videos and all this shit, and it's talking about, like, letting go ego. And a lot of the homies talk about that shit, too. Like, letting that shit go with something else. Especially nowadays. Like, the new millennials, like everybody, you know, everyone feels entitled. Everyone feels like something is owed to them. Everyone wants to do something with their life. Not everybody, but everyone wants to, I guess, take shortcuts, you know, get Instagram famous, or even I feel like that's a cliche conversation, but it's the funny thing, it's true. You know, sometimes you get lost in the midst of that world, of that Instagram world, of that bubble that people create. And you can create that bubble as well and just live right inside that shit. No one can just interject if you really stay inside that bubble, but that's not the case. That's not the case. That's just like one negative on a negative. Just negative things gonna happen. So that's like a weird thing too. You know, because that's the crazy part of life. You know, it's just a lot of dips. And I'm only 26, and I only witnessed and seen half the things most people even experience or talk about older generation wise. And it still doesn't equate, because niggas still tell me, you ain't seen it yet. You ain't experienced it yet. You know, that complacent feeling, that stuck feeling that most of my people, when I say my, I mean people that feel the same way I feel, or just have that mind state of that feeling right there. You know, you can just look out your windows and look out your window and see the struggle, see the stuck, see the feeling, see the pain, see the hurt, you know. And it's all about what you do to really proactively do something about it, really. And that's the difficult part, I feel like, realistically. Because you always want to, of course you want to strive for more, but you just want to just like, after a couple fuck ups, after a couple run-in-the-mill walls that you run into, that you're going to run into, it's like deadly. You feel like that's the hardest wall you ever hit. And like, you know, woe was me type of shit. Or like, why this and why that, and just ugh. A lot of dumb shit. But that's the journey we take, you know. But besides that, you know, that happened to me recently. I'm slowly dealing with it. I think it's just more of a funny kind of situation. You know, it's just like the odds of a person that I used to date for like 5 years just randomly follow me. And then I'm seeing how her life turned out, and it's just like a complete, like, you know, you kind of have to take, because honestly, you do take a look at yourself and see what you're doing wrong. Because obviously you're doing something. Or maybe that's just me being narcissistic and just thinking like, oh man, it's just me, you know, not being happy for someone. You see, even with that instance, like, you can just take away someone else's accomplishments and just make it about yourself in that moment instead of that person. Which, in the grand scheme of things, is kind of fucked up, you know? That's what we all do. We all trying to make it out. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do music. I'm trying to create. I'm trying to make something, you know? It's this thing of, like, waking up early and going to a place, actually physically clocking in for a place that you don't want to be at, all this shit. It doesn't matter how much money it is made. that you bring home, it's still the same thing. It's still the same story every day. It's still the same people, you know, still the same personalities, I should say. Different people, same personalities. You know, that's the one thing I just have to get out of that rut, you know. And a lot of people too, a lot of people feel the same exact way. Because I know for sure I'm not the only person that'll go to someone else's page and go on a little deep dive of doing something they're not supposed to do. Because, you know what I'm saying, that curiosity is a motherfucker. And I tell you, and I motherfucking tell you, it is. On everything I love, that curiosity be a motherfucker. You just be looking, just like, what is it? Like, it's just answers. I need answers. I need answers. Everything doesn't need answers, you know? A lot of things are best left unsaid. That's the funny thing. But lighter note, gotta switch the page a little bit. Music-wise, what y'all been fucking with? What y'all been liking? What's on heavy rotation? I want to get in that conversation as well. Like, you know, a lot of topics, a lot of things I want to talk about. And discussion, whatever. Music-wise, you know, y'all fucking with the key. It's weird because my music taste is kind of all over the place, to be honest with you. I look up to Frank Ocean and Young Thug. It's just two opposite sides of a quarter. But so of course I'm gonna say Key because he YSL, but when the home team is up for bat, you gotta we support you. You gotta do it. like you gotta do it. Or even like Eminem, whatever I say his name. I think I said it wrong, but I think I might have said it right. I'm like 40% I said it right. That shit's crazy. Probably top 10 releases this year. Easily. Obviously Uzi taking the, you already know I'm gonna say Uzi. I was like, now it sounds generic, but it's whatever, man. I like what I like. It's the not feel good music, feeling music, you know. You turn it on, it just gives you a feeling sonically. Or even what the person is saying, you know, sometimes it's about a beat for me or whatever. Or just the person himself or herself. Alright, sorry about the rearranging of lights there. You can probably tell time has elapsed. But that's pretty much the first episode. Call me Sydney, call me Lovely Stoner. Just don't call me by my real name. And if no one told you they loved you, I heart you. I heart you a lot.